This is why you should follow the spirit. I was in Utah this last weekend for a family event, and on Monday, I was with my best friend, and she told me about this interview that she was having with a catering event company that our mutual friend works with. Immediately after she tells me that she is interviewing for this company, I feel so strongly like I need to also interview for the company. And I'm like, why? I currently work as a tour guide. It's a good paying job. I do want to be back in Utah so I can network with more people, so I can start my own business as a faith coach. But I'm like, I'm not interested in catering events at all. Like, why would I get that impression? And we leave, we part ways, and I go to bed, and I wake up Tuesday, and I still feel this overwhelming feeling that I need to interview with that company. I'm like, why? God, why are you telling me this? Because this doesn't make any sense at all. I don't want to do catering events. Probably makes like no money. There's no job in Utah like that makes any money at all. And I'm broke. I'm broke. Like, why? Except I couldn't shake the feeling. And so then I text our mutual friend who works with the company, and I'm just like, hey, are they hiring more people? Like, could I also interview? And she's like, yeah, let me get you connected with the manager, Lori. So I reach out to Lori, and Lori's like, yeah, I'm doing interviews all day on Wednesday, which my parents and I were driving back to Arizona from Utah on Wednesday morning. And I was scheduled to work at the Canyon the rest of the week. And so I text her back, and I'm like, yeah, could we interview in the morning? And she's like, yeah, that's great. So Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., I have this interview. I have no idea why I'm feeling strongly about this. Get to the interview. Lori's super awesome, goes really well. The entire time I'm feeling so strongly about this company, even though I'm like, okay, like, is this because it's owned by really wealthy people and I can network with them? Like, I have no idea. Do I really just need to be back in Utah this badly to connect with this demographic of people who share my faith and are like the people that I want to be connecting with my business? Like, why? It doesn't make any money. It's like $14 an hour. And at the end of the interview, she says, well, do you want to try an event? Because that's what we normally do. And I was like, okay, well, when is the next event? She's like, tomorrow night. And then the next one is on Monday. And I was like, okay, well, like, I'll let you know I'm going back to Arizona today. Go back to Arizona with my parents, get in the car with them. I'm like, I do not want to not work like any more of my shifts at the Canyon as a guide because I need the money. Drive back to Arizona that night. Get back to Arizona at like 10 p.m. and wake up Thursday morning, and my shift at the Canyon is at 7:30. Get there at 7:15. Can't shake the feeling that I need to be at the event that night. I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I need to be at this event? Like, I have no idea what the event even is. Nobody knows what the event is. Like, why do I need to be at this event? But I cannot shake the feeling that I need to be there. And so then I call the boy that I have been seeing, who we just broke up, but we're still friends. And I just am like, I call him. He's the only person I want to talk to about this because I knew he's going to help me make the decision that I wanted to make, but was scary, and talk to him. And he's just like, well, I can't make the decision for you, but your intuition has led you to the doorstep of your dreams. So I don't know if it is wise to stop following it right now. And I was like, oh. And he's like, do you know what you need to do? And I was like, oh, I don't want to, because I was already feeling embarrassed because I had missed work earlier that week to be in Utah for the family event. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I do not want to talk to these people and try to get it off and whatever. So then I go back inside the building, find my manager, sit down and ask her, can I miss for this event? She says yes. So then by this time it's like 8:15 in the morning. I need to be back in Utah Valley at 3:15. Utah's an hour ahead. Get in my car, drive all the way back 5 hours, even though I was literally just there the day before, and get right to the restaurant at 3:15. And as I'm driving up, I'm really emotional. I'm crying. I'm like, why? Like, is this, I don't have any money. Like, I can't do this, God. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to go back to Utah and not have any money and, try to stay at people's places. And like, why is this happening? Like, and then I finally, like, when I got there, I just made peace because I was like, you know what? My entire life has been characterized by decisions like this where I do something that doesn't make sense to anybody else. And that's been my whole life, except for in the last year, I have been super depressed after getting let go from the seminary program and just kind of going through all these faith things and trying to navigate, what I'm supposed to do. And I've been really scared, essentially. So I haven't made a lot of these decisions that don't make sense to anybody because I've just been terrified to do anything. And so I finally was like, I'm proud of myself for making this decision, even though I know it doesn't make sense. And even though my parents were freaking out on me for doing it because they know that I don't have money as well. And so get to Utah Valley. The girls are there who are also doing the event. And I'm just like, okay, like, I'm proud of myself no matter what happens, no matter what this event is. And I get in the car with them. They say, it's an hour away. It's outside of Salt Lake and we're driving. Ask, did we learn any information about the event? No, we still don't know. It's like a work event. So I was like, okay, it's going to be good no matter what happens. I have no idea why I'm here, why I'm back in Utah, why I need to drive here, whatever. Pull up to this event an hour later outside this like mansion. And the first thing I see is a YouTube welcome sign. And instantly I know why I'm supposed to be at that event because it is a YouTube creator event by the company YouTube. And so the entire event was dedicated to creators and YouTube executives meeting together and networking. And I have spent since January, like 5 months, making content and writing and embarking on my journey to become a full-time creator. And this is the event that I am meant to cater at. I just was like, oh my gosh, this is totally why God wanted me at this event. It's to be here with creators, to be here with the top people in the industry who are working at YouTube, the company. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, this is insane. This is exactly why I felt prompted to come. Like, this is exactly why. And so then, get assigned to work the soda bar, and the whole time, the whole 3.5 hours, just have time to talk with all of these people who are full-time creators on YouTube and people who work at YouTube, the company, and become friends with them and tell them about what I'm trying to do and network and get their contact information. That was the whole event. And it was, honestly, I can't even tell you how much of a miracle, because it's pretty isolating trying to be a creator because you're making stuff on your own. And I have this goal. I made a goal at the beginning of the year. One of my only 2 goals for 2024 is to become more connected with the creator community. And so every week I try to talk to someone who is making content full-time or just as a hobby or as an artist of some sort, so I can get more connected and have made friends that way. But all of my friends are virtual, and it's been really hard for me to connect because I thrive so much on being with people in person. And so I've cried about it to my mom of like, I could do this career if I got to be in a building with other people who are also trying to be creators. Like, I could do so much better if I was like, if there was a college campus specifically for creators. And that was what this event was, essentially, was a physical manifestation of this reality that I've been chasing and trying to create for myself, like a physical manifestation of my yearly goal for 2024 about being more connected with the creator community. And everybody I could talk to everybody like I was on the same playing field as them. And I'm aware of what's going on in the economy, and I've, have experience building humans of BYU, burning out from that community, starting over and creating things. And I could really hold my ground with these people, and they were so kind and so fun. And I connected really well with a couple of the YouTube executives who were there, and one of them was like, I don't have a lot of say, but I could verify your channel. Another one of them subscribed to my YouTube channel, so shout out Jason if you're watching this. And then the other one, she followed me on Instagram and was like, I want you to send me your Substack, like all these things. And she was like the diamond in the rough out of everybody, and everyone was like their own gem. Everyone was a ruby, honestly. But she, like, at the end of the event, ended at 9:30, and at 8:30 things were slowing down, and I saw her and we struck up a conversation. She talked to me for 45 minutes, asking me questions about the content that I'm making, who I am, what my mission is. Like, amazing. She lives in San Francisco. She's in charge of the YouTube TV app design, and just was so awesome, so supportive. Halfway through our conversation, I realized that she was actually the keynote speaker at the event. She was the main speaker at this event. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's like totally taking me under her wing. Like, what? Like, she's like the main speaker who came from YouTube, and she just is like adopting me. And then like at the end of our conversation, she's like, do you want to watch the drone show? Which was like the thing that tied up the night, that everybody at this mansion area got to watch this drone show. And we were sitting down, and the theme of the event was meet up where you belong. And the drone show, they had different images relating to YouTube, light up the sky. And one of them was meet up where you belong. And as we're sitting and watching that together, she turns to me and she's like, I think that's a message for you. And I was just like, what? What is this? Like, what? Because I mean, there's a lot of creator events, for people around. Not all of them are YouTube sponsored. Not all of them have the YouTube people from the company of YouTube come. And it was so cool too, because one of them, he was in charge of creator partnerships at YouTube. He's so cute, so funny. He was like my age, worked at Google before he worked at YouTube. And he was like, oh my gosh, I love your energy so much. Do you work as a catering? And I told him my story, and he's like, oh my gosh, that's divine intervention. And there was like a couple of people who came up to try to talk to him during this time, and he's like, have you heard her story? And it was so cute and so fun, because of course, like, everybody at YouTube is like a storyteller, cares about good stories. And it was so fun to like have these people think that I had a really cool story and think that I'm really cool. And he's like, I can't do much, but I can verify your channel. And it's just like, who, like, I don't even have like 100 subscribers on YouTube. Like, I don't even have 1,000 followers on Instagram. Like, I just barely got 100 subscribers on my Substack. And it's like, you are treating me like I'm one of you. And it was so precious too, because everyone at the event got a Snuggie, because the creator who hosted the event with YouTube has a e-gaming company called Space Station. And everyone got a Space Station, an original Space Station Snuggie, and was wearing them. And I had literally 3 different creators come up to me and ask, like, wait, did you not get a Snuggie? I'm like, oh no, because we're just like the staff helping, and okay, I'm gonna go see if I can get you one. 3 different creators. And not even the ones that I became like good friends with. Like, it was like, that's how kind everyone is. And so, yeah, it was just this magical. And then like the guy whose house it was, who has the mansion and like this lake in his backyard where the drone show was, like, I got to tell him my story. Shout out Shonduras. And he was like, I'm so happy. I hope you follow all of your dreams. I was like, thanks so much for having this event. I go to shake his hand. He's like, let me just give you a hug, and gives me a hug. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh. And he also halfway through the event hid money around the yard. I mean, the property. I don't even want to say yard because it's a property. And was like, okay, I want to do a treasure hunt with everyone. Totally what you would see in a YouTube channel, like so classic. And the next day, I'm like planning on reaching out to these people to solidify my connection with them. And I'm going to send the woman who I connected with, Bryn, an email thanking her. And I finally get around to doing that around like 4 p.m. the next day. And before I do that, I decide to check my Instagram. And check my Instagram. She sent me a message at 7 a.m. that morning. And she just is like, hey, Hannah, just want to say thank you so much. So nice to meet you last night. I love your energy and spirit. Also, I've been reading some of your posts and didn't realize your breakup was so recent. I'm so sad we didn't talk about that. Like, I just want you to know I'm here for you. Like, who is saying that? I know that I was supposed to be there, and God knew I was supposed to be there, and God wanted me there, and He wanted me there because He knew I would want to be there, and that was important to me. So I had no idea what that was gonna be. Literally no idea why I had that feeling. And I was so mad, you guys. I was kicking and screaming because I'm like, God, I'm so tired. Like, I feel like it's been like a long week. I had previously, like, I was supposed to leave originally on Sunday, but I like felt really struggling, like I needed to meet with one of the seminary administrators, try to meet with them, because I've had tried to put off this conversation for a long time about, advocating for myself and how I was treated when I was let go. And I extended because of that and had that conversation. So it's kind of just like I've been prompted to do all these hard things, and I just was like, I can't do it, God, I can't do it. And then it ended up being like the best thing ever. I can't even imagine, better than I even imagined. There's nothing that I would have never guessed that was why I needed to be there. And yeah, so anyways, long miracle story about why you should follow the Spirit, and why I believe in God, and why I believe that He knows what is best. And I still am kicking and screaming at some of the things that He's prompting me to do right now, which is silly. But I have seen miracles when I exercise my faith in Jesus Christ and follow the Spirit and follow those promptings. I know that God cares about me and loves me and wants me to succeed. And I know that God is leading me to fulfilling my dreams, and He wants me to have the best life possible. He wants me to live my dream life, and He wants that for you too. And I know that He can make that happen, and He is making that happen. And maybe it's just a matter of us being open to that. Are we open to that? And I need to be more open to that God is leading me to my dreams, and maybe I don't always know what is best. Miracles happen. God loves you. God is alive. He wants you to have your dream life.